Week 2 is in the books, so let's go from 32 to 1. These are my power rankings. What's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo. Just in case you did not know, so go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave that thumbs up if you enjoy the content. Then, of course, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Power rankings. Oh boy, oh boy. So this is gonna be a weekly series, so strap in, follow along. Let's go ahead. Let's start with 32 being the New York Jets. So I'm gonna include like teams that I think that are very similar or very close to one another. I'm not really going by records, but definitely by what we've seen at least in the first few games. So, and a lot of this will change week to week. So just give me the benefit of the doubt for this week. But yeah, the Jets, you know these guys are in a rebuild, man. I know Zach Wilson hasn't looked all that great. Like, it's fine. It's fine. We knew he coming to the league. The dude's a slinger, man. The dude's a gunslinger. He likes to make the big plays. Didn't work out against the New England Patriots. But is a team also like ravaged with injury when it comes to like Carson, right? No. Oh my gosh. Well, I can't. Carl Lawson. There we go. I couldn't think of his name for a second. But Carl Lawson, I think the defenses looked reasonably decent. The secondary, it's coming together. But at least the corner position. But I think the defensive lines looked pretty darn good. I think they can make some improvements on the offensive line, mainly at right tackle. I know Morgan Moses was out the first game. Was he out the second game? Let's see. No, he played. Yeah, he played pretty well. Okay. But he's on a one-year deal, But yeah, we know what we're getting here. It's a rebuild. 31, the Jags. They have their franchise quarterback, much like the Jets. They're in the middle of the rebuild. Honestly, I expected the Jags to at least look a little bit better to start the year. But Trevor Lawrence, I think he shook a bad start versus the Texans. It really actually ended that game pretty strong. But still, not enough. Not enough right now. That team is still, they're young, they're inexperienced, they'll get better, they'll be better hopefully by the end of the year. If anything, if you're drafting early, great. You could get another top pick to help out with this squad. But yeah, early returns thus far, I think Lawrence has looked fine. Again, rookie quarterbacks. But these next three, I had a real tough time ordering, and I ended up just going with, since the Falcons have a more veteran quarterback there in Matt Ryan, I ended up putting them on top. But the Texans have really impressed me. I knew this was going to be a very gritty, a very hard to take out of the fight type of squad. It's a veteran squad. They do lose Tyrod Taylor, excuse me. Unfortunately, so I don't know how long they're going to be without him, but hopefully it's not too long. Doing a quick check. In fact, it was Davis Mills who came into the game. Okay. Didn't look that good either, fortunately. But Detroit Lions, I think they looked pretty solid against the Packers. And against San Fran. They put up a very, very good, I think, final quarter and a half against San Fran. And they put up a really good first half against the Packers. So I think this is another team I think they're going to be a bit gritty. They're going to be a bit tough. To keep... I think they have a few upsets. They're going to have a few upsets this season. Atlanta Falcons... I'm just glad their offense came alive this week. I know Matt Ryan, 3 picks, 2 pick sixes, but still it was nice to see the offense being able to score. That wasn't the case against Philly in week 1. And we already know what their defense is. It is a trash. Hey, this video is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. If you want to make a little bit of that cash money playing some fantasy football or maybe making some player prop bets, a little parlays, then use Underdog Fantasy. If you use my code BROSCHMO, then you get $10 with your deposit of $10. That's $20. So go and make that cash money, baby. Yeah. Back to the video. All right, on to the next group of teams here. We got the Bengals. Man, they came a bit crashing down to earth, man. Burrow didn't have the greatest performance, but I'm a bit more encouraged. It's nice to see them compete. Granted, it's only the Bears and the Vikings, but still, it's nice to see these guys compete. I think this week, they have I believe the Steelers. This is going to be a bit more of a litmus test about where exactly are they? Do they belong in this bottom of the barrel type of squad, or is that where they are right now, or are they more this mid-tier on the verge of maybe being playoff contenders the following year type of squad? Well, I think we're going to find that out this week. The New York Giants, that offensive line's pretty bad, especially the interior, and after Nick Gates went down, it just kind of became a mess. But Danny Dimes, his play for me has been a bit up and down. I think a lot of people liked his play Thursday. I thought it was good. I thought he played pretty darn well. I thought he did definitely miss on a few balls that were very costly, like the Darius Slayton touchdown that was right on the tip of his fingers. But listen, when your guy's got 5 yards of separation, you can't you make the catch easier on him, But this defense needs to get into a groove, man. I expected them to be a bit more, a bit better, especially in the pass defense. And when Taylor Heineke is like, all right, let's drive down for a game-winning field goal. I ain't feeling good about the pass defense. Chicago Bears, it sucks about Andy Dalton, but it's nice to see Justin Fields get in there. Don't know what the actual status on Andy Dalton will be, but even if Fields started, you need something to start this offense, because David Montgomery, he can only do so much. We've seen sparks from Darnell Mooney. You got Allen Robinson there, so I'm really eager to see what a full game under Justin Fields will look like for this offense. The defense, they're playing well after a rocky start against the Rams, but I think the defense is gonna, from here on out, they're gonna be among the top 10, top 12 teams, at least defenses in the league. Philadelphia Eagles, they had a really good showing against San Fran. But let's be honest, I feel like this team's being carried by the defense. The offense can be explosive, but then at other times it could kind of just stall and just sit there in the water, I feel like that's just where it's at right now. But you have this mean deep passing game. We saw Jalen Reagor, that touchdown got called back, but still the capability of doing that. Quez Watkins, he almost went the distance on a touchdown. You can do it with this offense. It's just a bit more consistency. Brandon Graham is a huge blow to this squad on the defense. We'll see how that is going forward, but that's just currently how I feel about the team. The Dolphins, I didn't feel really good after week 1 with that win against the Patriots. I really felt that one was earned by our defense, not really our offense. And then we go ahead and get shut out. I know Tua got hurt early. But still, Jacoby Brissett, they weren't able to do anything offensively. And that's your backup quarterback, a more veteran quarterback in there. And just offensively, we look terrible. We get Will Fuller back hopefully this week. Maybe we get Tua, maybe not. We'll see, but I'm not feeling good about the Dolphins season. And I kind of talked about this in my deep dive. Washington, Taylor Heineke, he can win some games for the squad. He definitely could win some games for the squad. I just need to see that defense step up, man. We've seen glimpses of the pass rush being dominant. It's mainly that secondary that needs to hold their own. And I think they will. I think they'll get better. They get Ryan Fitzmagic back in 5-6 weeks. So I think Taylor Heineke, I think he can hold it down till then. So I definitely think this Washington team is going to be in contention for the playoffs. Easy. And then the next the next group of teams here, Minnesota Vikings. Man, heartbreaking. They've had a couple of heartbreaking losses to start the season. It could be very costly. We'll see. They had that overtime thriller with Cincinnati, and then they just can't get a field goal versus Arizona, which Arizona's a good squad. So I think this Minnesota, they're going to be very competitive this year. The Colts, they're 0-2 out the gates. We know that they have a very tough opening schedule. The more concern goes to Carson Wentz. Apparently he sprained both ankles. Not a sign, especially since the ankle was kind of the issue before the season. So I don't know, but it sucks because we really started to see that offense start to get moving and grooving. And then he ends up going down. It doesn't look like it's going to be any better with Jacob Eason. The Steelers, I've been really disappointed with the Steelers. Not really. I think they're doing about as well as I expected. Offensively, something needs to click for this squad. They just couldn't hang with the Raiders team. They just couldn't hang. And they had to get bailed out by their defense and their special teams against the Bills. Let's be honest. When your defense can't bail you out anymore, what can the offense do? What can it do? The offense needs to start moving. The Saints here at 18, they kind of came crashing down to earth after, just blasting the Packers. Then Carolina comes in and it's like, let's give you a little bit of some realization. Jameis, remember, you're a roller coaster. Ain't nothing consistent about you. It seems to be the case. But the Patriots, I think they're trending up, man. I really do. I thought they looked really good this week. I think Mac and Jones. I really wanted to say Mac and Cheese. Mac and Cheese, Mac Jones. I think he looks very comfortable in this offense, and he's able to, I think, efficiently move this offense while he lets the defense win the game. So I feel really good about him there. And I mean, these next group of teams I listed there, they're all like fringe playoff teams for me. Now let's get into the next group, which is the group I'm surprised with. The Broncos have been surprising. Teddy has come in. He's been consistent. He's been steady. He's let his playmakers he's dumped the ball to his playmakers and let them make moves. The defense, they've been very good. This is a Broncos team that feels like a playoff team. You can say the same thing about the Panthers, except for Sam Darnold I thought looked pretty darn good in week 2. He's got a lot of very good playmakers in CMC. You got DJ Moore. You got Robbie Anderson. Guys you could just dump the ball off to and say, have at it. The offensive line is still a bit of a concern, but the defense is starting to look way more mature. Keep in mind, it's still a young defense, but they're looking scary, man. They're looking scary. Seattle Seahawks, man, they would be 2-0 if not for just a sheer collapse there against Tennessee in Seattle, nonetheless. This defense is exactly what I thought it would be. It is not good. It's not good. Russell Wilson definitely elevates his squad. This offense is pretty darn good, though. So this is why I didn't want to drop them too far. The 49ers, I felt bad for they're 2-0. I mean, I got a few 2-0 teams. Again, I'm not really paying attention to the record, but more so what they did in the games. And I was like, man, 2-0 and y'all the way down here at 13. Man, that's rough. But they've dealt with big injuries thus far. Raheem Mostert, Jason Verrett. Dude, the running back core is going down. It's hard to trust this team when they're so injury prone, And then Las Vegas Raiders easily my surprise of this season thus far. I didn't expect them to come out and just win against the Ravens, and then they come and beat the Steelers team that I felt a lot more. I actually called this. I felt good about after watching that Ravens game, like, because that's a good Ravens squad. I think they beat this offense. It's no joke, man. Derek Carr, I think, is legit. There, I said it. Derek Carr, I think, is legit. I think he might be a top 12, top 10 quarterback. I don't know if I'm going to say he dips into that elite status. I don't think so. But I mean, elite quarterbacks are able to, well, pick up a mediocre team and take a squad to the playoffs, lead them to playoff runs. I mean, we see it like Russell Wilson. We've seen it with him. The dude kind of works with a very below average defense. And then just like, we've seen him elevate that squad. So I don't know. We're going to learn a lot about Derek Carr this year. I can't wait. And then this next group of teams are like on the fringe of being elite. We're going to start with the Tennessee Titans. They had a big rebound, looked a lot better against the Seattle Seahawks. The defense still, it could be better. It could be worse. But it's nice to see Derrick Henry come alive finally. Like this team, it feels like they've played a bad 6 quarters of football to start the season. But Ryan Tannehill, man, he's been solid. The play calling could be a bit better, I think. I think they rely too much on run, play action. I want to see a bit more variety, and a little bit of flavor, a little bit of spice in the play calling there. Chargers, I've been very impressed with. I thought they were still going to be in this kind of honeymoon phase with Justin Herbert, but Justin Herbert, it doesn't look like the moment is too big for him. He did have a bad pick against Dallas in the red zone, but it's just going to happen, man. That's just going to happen with your younger quarterbacks. It's nice to see that this kid can help move the offense, because that defense is pretty solid. Dallas, man, the defense came and stepped up this week. Very impressive. But this offense is going to be tough to stop for any squad, even when Dak's not playing phenomenal. Like, I didn't think he played very well versus the Chargers. He had a few dumb picks, but still, this is an offense that could they could go off at any moment. So, yeah, big fan. Cardinals, man, I really didn't know if I wanted to put them this high, but screw it, let's do it. Kyler Murray's looked amazing, and dogs. But Kyler Murray's looked amazing, and I may not be the biggest fan of Cliff Kingsbury, but I do know that they, much like last year, they're probably going to start the season real hot this year. Something to monitor. Maybe we get to that week 8, week 9, and then this team collapses. We'll see. The Buffalo Bills, I have said I think there's going to be some regression from the almost MVP season from Josh Allen last year, and I think we've seen that thus far. He's not been as good as last year. I think last year was not an outlier, but it was like almost the ceiling of what to expect for Josh Allen. Like, it was ridiculous how he improved in his adjusted completion percentage. How accurate he was it was a big leap in development. So I definitely thought we were going to see a bit of a regression from that standpoint. We saw them struggle against the Steelers to get out the blocks. They ended up losing that game. And then even in this game, I know that they won like 35-0, but the Dolphins couldn't do anything on offense. Your offense was constantly put in great positions, and still I didn't feel great about it. But I know this is a good Bills squad. I think they'll move in the right direction from here on out. Cleveland Browns, man. Baker hasn't entirely looked great. Mainly the end of that Kansas City game and then parts of the Texans game. But this cat he definitely knows how to operate this offense and get them moving. I know they rely a lot on the running game. The running game is a big part of that. And I think the defense has looked pretty darn well. Rocky start against this Texans team that's kind of surprised a lot of people out of the gates. But came that second half, they really held it down. And then these are my top 5 teams. These are, I think, the elite of the elite, the tippity of the top, the climax of the mountain. The Green Bay Packers. I know they had a really bad loss against the Saints. The offense looked much better, especially in the second half against Detroit in Monday Night Football. I think this is Aaron Rodgers. This is Devontae Adams. This is the last dance. I just think they're going to be one of the more elite teams just because of that. Aaron Jones has been amazing. The defense is kind of a question mark. They were going to be missing Zadarius Smith, so that's kind of sucks. This might be a bit divisive. I got the Ravens, and then I have the Chiefs ranked ahead of them. You're like, the Ravens just beat the Chiefs, but I think 7 times out of 10, Chiefs win that game. I think the Chiefs, just because Patrick Mahomes, how explosive that offense can be, is the better squad. Of course, all this can change. Is this a knock on the Ravens? No, the Ravens are a very, very good team. Lamar Jackson is one of the toughest playmakers to stop in the NFL. So both extremely good teams. The defense, it's a little rocky start for the Chiefs. But I think I don't think it's really disputable that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the top team. But the Rams, I think they could be fast on their tail. Aaron Donald kind of makes the defense there. Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. They're kind of like a 2-man wrecking crew there for LA. And then offensively, they can't really get the run game, as bad as Sean McVay loves to get the run game started. I don't really feel like the run game has really been in full gear this whole year thus far. Darrell Henderson, he's been a bit up and a bit down. Sony Michel, now with the rib injury, Sony Michel and Jake Funk will probably be the guys that see a majority of the snaps this Sunday. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, we're going to find out this week. Rams versus Bucks. Who's better? So I'm very excited for that. And the Bucks, man, good luck. That offense is so tough to stop. Tom Brady, he's so good. I know. I'm a Dolphins fan. I just see him in the AFC East for like 20 years. It kind of sucked. It ruined my childhood. Thank you, Tom Brady. But, yeah, they're the best of the best. But that's it for the video. Go ahead and let me know who you think is the best in the comment section below. And as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.